Well, howdy, Prospector Paul here. Hey, we got 2 boxes come in all the way from California. We're gonna have to check these out. What have we here? Well, in case you haven't figured that out, that is a Keene 151S dry washer. The new improved Briggs & Stratton. Got a cast iron sleeve in that for extended wear. As long as you keep this thing out of the dust, it should last you a lifetime. The other thing is, it's very important to drain the gas tank. The new fuel, you know, with the ethanol in it, that's pretty hard on the rubber parts in the carburetor. And if you don't want to be down, you run her out of gas every day and keep that bowl empty. But yeah, check that out, huh? Look at the new matting in there. That is so fine. This will get an electric charge from the static electricity built up by the engine. This will hold on to more gold. And look at the new upgrades, the little plinkos, I guess is what I'd call them. So the dirt will fall through the dry washer into this, get bounced around. Yeah, that's spectacular. Man, oh man, what a nice machine. And they threw in a couple extras. I got the, they call this the Magic Fingers. A nice little raking tool for crevicing. And they threw in a scoop. I like everything but the metal piece on it there. I don't know if that's gonna fly, but that's got a nice little tip on it for crevicing too, right? So you could dig in with that. I got crevicing tools though, so we'll use that scoop. Yeah, it's nice of them to throw that in. Wow, what a beauty. Well, let's get this thing assembled, get it stood up, and you can all see what it looks like. Obviously, this means we're getting close to going back to Arizona. Can't wait. I cannot wait to run this thing. All right, let me get started on the assembly of this thing. Okay, so to assemble your Keene 151S, you will turn the hopper, the feed hopper, upside down. You're going to take your first leg, one with no bumpers on it, line up the first holes on the end with the clamps that hold the sluice box. Pretty simple. Just take your cotter pin out, line up the first hole, and if you look through there, you can kind of line up, well, I can see it anyway, line that other hole up on the other side, push it through, pull it back just a little bit, get this leg up there, put your cotter pin in, piece of cake. Alright, so you got the first leg on, and that just swings right about there. Now you're going to want to use, there's only one hole on this set, so you want to use these 2 holes to mount your next set of legs to. stand this leg up. Bring these two holes together. Whoops. Alright, so now we got the cross section in there. First one's ready to go. Get some nuts on it. Just 7/16. So we'll just take this ratchet, put a little pressure on the other side and tighten that up. Now we can get the other bolt ready for the other side. Just pop that right up in there. There we go. Okay. Got the nut through, or the bolt through. You want to put your flat washer on, then your lock washer. That's so the nut don't come loose afterwards. And then put your nut on. It's like I'm doing this with oven mitts. Alright. Let me just tighten that up real quick. There. Now this is still going to move, so you got to be careful. But we want to put the bar through these two holes into that hole. We'll get that lined up right now. This bar comes with two spacers. Take them off. Let's put this pin down. Alright, so we'll take this like so. Get your bar ready. Get your first spacer on. Spacer's on the inside. Back the bar up a little bit. Now we got it right through there. Now we gotta get the spacer ready for the other side. And then I get that bar through that hole. This one's a little tricky to line up. Okay, gotta get the spacer on. Then pull that through. You have to adjust this just a little bit. Pull on it. There it goes. Oh, so close. There we go. Put your cotter pin on, and the legs are set. I think they should be set. All right, let's give this a flip over and see what it looks like. So that's at the steepest angle possible. You throw your dirt in here, goes through that little hole down there, and that'll go into the box. So that looks ridiculous. So we're gonna let that down a little bit, and then we'll proceed to the next step. Okay, next up we're going to hang this box. Love these little plinkers in there to make that, shake up that dirt and have it go through there in a nice even flow. Alright, let's get these hooked up. Once you get the first one on, once you get that first one on, the next one's pretty easy. Okay, that's that. Last step for assembly. We'll get the chain and bracket on here and the spring. You just line this up. There's 4 or 5 holes here. We're going to put it on the last one. I'm going to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 links. I want to put it on the 7th link. All I did was hook the 7th link on that little bracket there. That's that. Lastly, you're going to adjust your bumpers. So you want this bracket so the bumpers right in about the middle of that box, like so. And then you just use these bolts. This one will tighten it up, and this one keeps this from spinning. So there's just a little gap there. They say you want a little more snug than that, so I'll get that a little more tightened up. I left it loose just for assembly reasons. But there it is. Keene 151S all set up. There's still the matter of make sure you put oil. Check your oil. Most of them don't come with oil. Well, it's even got a little oil filter on it. Check that out. But you got to make sure there's oil in your machine. It says here only ethanol 0 or 10, no 15 or 85. So you got to make sure you put the right gas in this, otherwise it'll be back in the shop and you ain't getting no gold. There's the hose. They send you a real nice hose with this. My goodness, is this nice. Real heavy duty, nice plastic. Put one end up here on the bottom of the box, and the other end goes on here. We're not going to do that today because I got to pack this up and take it to Arizona. Can't wait. That thing's going to get me pounds of gold. You watch. That's an awesome unit. I'm glad I bought it. They're expensive, but they're the best. There's several adjustments you can make on this machine. The first one is the flow. You can see that little gate down there. I'll show it to you from the bottom. So there's just a couple of nuts here, and you can adjust the hole diameter down here. You want to be able to get your finger in there past your first knuckle with a glove on. That's about as big of a hole as you want. Anything more than that, you're feeding it way too much. I learned that from a fella on YouTube called I Break for Bedrock. I will leave his description, or his link in the description down below. Check him out. This guy, well, there's 2 of them. There's Alan and Boulder Dash. These guys know what they're talking about. And I mean, they back it up. They put gold in the box every episode. They do a great job. And they got some tips and tricks on how to run a dry washer. But, you know, just like any machine, you got to test it. Test. So there's your first unit, or first adjustment is your flow. And I'm sure that's set right. Another adjustment you have is back here on this gate. So there's going to be a lot of air coming through that hose, and it's going to want to blow all your gold and your dust and everything, your fines, up out of that box. You can control how much air by the idle. You know, you set your gas on the engine, and you can let air out this way. So that way you want to blow the dust out of the box, but you don't want to blow the fine gold out of the box. That's the trick. With the 151S, these bumpers, it's going to transfer all the motion from the box to the legs. It helps this move a lot faster, so you'll go through more material. You really don't need this moving that much. Again, another tip that iBrake for Bedrock has is they drill a hole right here in the middle, and they hang about a 5-pound rock off of this particular, or off of a 151S or 151. They don't run an S that I'm aware of. At least I haven't seen it in any of their episodes. So with the bumpers, that kind of takes the rock thing out of the game. Don't get me wrong, I'm gonna drill a hole in this, and I will be ready just in case. So that's your real adjustment. Oh, there's the last adjustment, the biggest adjustment. How many links do you hang up here? You know, the flatter you run this, the more of a chance you have it to build up with black sand and not catch gold. Your gold will go right out over the end. That's a real possibility. So you want some pitch, but you go with too much pitch and your gold and everything goes out. Obviously your nuggets will stay. They're the heaviest thing in the box. That's not going to come out. But your fine gold, that's really where it's at. If you're capturing the fine gold, you're winning the game. And these units will do it. Again, when the air is going through here, this screen, this mesh, this will become static charged, and there is an attraction between static electricity and gold. So ideally, a lot of your fine material, your fine gold, will stay in this unit. That's why I bought this unit, specifically for the fines. There is always a lot of fines where I'm digging, and I mean, it's harder to capture that stuff, but that's where the money is. I mean, anybody can catch the big stuff. You catch the fines with it, and your bank account goes up a lot faster. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make here. But yeah, 151S, heck of a unit. Unbelievable unit. Can't wait to get this in the field and test it out. I know what it'll do. I worked with a 151. This machine's way bigger than I can feed. I mean, I can't keep up with this thing. This thing will outwork me all day because it takes so long to get the material out of the earth. You know, working these washes and whatnot, that material is packed in there so hard. You got to pick it out of there, you know, and pry bars and shovels. You just don't shovel the dirt up and throw it in this box. You got to work at getting the dirt. So we'll have buckets lined up, you know, 20, 30 buckets, whatever that is. Maybe it's only 5. Maybe we only run 5 through the machine, do a clean out, and then fire it back up, run another 5, you know. So, but I can have 40 lined up, and that way I'm ahead of the machine for a bit. Then after you run the material through there and you do your clean out, you take all your clean out material at the end of the day, you run it back through here again, and then you end up with what's called super cons. So you take your cons, run it one more time, and you have super cons. That way you don't have so much to go through when you're panning, or like me, I'm going to use a wet sluice. I'll use the multi-hog sluice to, or the multi-sluice, multi-hog. There's a blooper. So I will use the multi-sluice from Gold Hog to do the cleanups, and yeah, it works pretty darn well. So that is the 151S in a nutshell. Love the new motor, and I like the little oil filter. That's cool. That's a good idea. And the air filter, I'm gonna definitely get another one of these before I go out. I don't care how that's already folded down, but yeah, this is the life of the machine. You want to keep the machine upwind. You want to keep the motor upwind of all the dust coming out of the machine. So you'll have to move the motor around. And we'll have a replacement one of these around, because this is everything. If you got a bunch of dust and dirty air going in there, you're gonna have a mess. It's not cool at all. All right, lock this bad boy back down. Got to make sure we put oil in it. We'll do that when we get out to Arizona. I'm not going to do that right now. And like I say, I got to pack this up, and that's the end of her. So all that setting up that dry washer got me excited, so I decided to set up my Gold Hog multi-sluice. I got that running at 11.5 degrees, and I have an 1100 GPH pump on there. I have a couple bags of dirt. Might as well find out what's inside them. I'm going to pour these in a pan, get them wet, and then I'm going to sluice it up. Well, we added some water. Kind of looks like cement. And we just pour it in there. Give another scoop. You get the idea. All right, pan's empty. Everything's in the sluice box. Water's good and muddy. All right, we're gonna shut her off, see what we got, see if we can see anything. That's gonna overflow. Nope, right close though. I don't know. All right, give me a second to concrete this mat. Maybe we'll see some gold. All right, so I'm concreting the mat. Basically, you just tilt the whole box sideways and let the water run off. And I'm not seeing any gold down here. And as we go farther up the mat, ooh, what's that? That's a pretty nice piece. Ooh, what's that? Look at that piece of gold. Oh my God, it looks like it's been polished or something. And there's a couple chunks, and there's a little chunk in there, and I can see something stuck in there, and there's some fines in there. I gotta remember where I got this dirt. Been in a trailer for quite a while. All right, well, we'll get all this in a pan, and yeah, we'll pan it out, see what we really got. Okay, everything from the mat is now in that pan. So we put some jet dry in there, and we're going to start panning her out. Shake her up a little bit. Shake her up really good, actually. Some of that water out of there. That and mosquitoes are trying to get me. Actually, they're getting me. Ouch. Some quartz in there. Okay. There's a fair amount of gold coming out of here. Holy jumping Jesus. Look at all that. Now that's right nice. Them some big pieces. Using my finger for scale. And there's all kinds that already went by. I'll take this inside where I can clean it up real good, but yeah, there's a couple grams there. No problem. What an awesome piece. All right, cool. All right, well, I got that cleaned up a lot better. I mean, them some chunky pieces. Nice gold. Miners Depot. It's the way to go. I'm telling you, folks. All right, don't forget, when we hit 500 subscribers, which is going to be real quick here, I think we're at 479 this morning. So next week, we'll probably be giving away that bag of Paydirt to one lucky commenter. Make sure you check that video out. Well, that's going to wrap up this week's video. Do me a favor, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed. According to YouTube analytics, 78% of you people that are passing through here aren't subscribed. It doesn't cost you a dime and it helps me out a lot. So if you would, smash that subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up, the like button. That would help me out a lot too. And if you wouldn't mind, leave a comment. I'm always glad to hear from you folks. All right, until next week, Prospector Paul, out.